Welcome back, everybody. So today we're going to have the last tasting of my Rye IPA batch number 2. This is a small batch, 1.25 gallons going into the carboy. 2 pounds, 1 ounce of pale malt, 4.2 ounces of caramel, 5.5 ounces of rye malt, 3.7 ounces of flaked rye. Now that caramel is a little under because I didn't get enough. I could have swore I got a pound, but I didn't have enough left over to make 2 beers that are exactly the same. So for the hops in the boil, our boil 0.28 ounces of Centennial at 60, 0.28 ounces of Centennial at 5, 0.28 ounces of Chinook at 5 minutes. USO5 yeast was used. Then for the dry hop, 3 days into fermentation, 0.24 ounces of Centennial, 0.12 ounces of Chinook and Sorachi Ace in this one. So the difference between batch 1 and batch 2 is a little caramel, and then the end hop, Amarillo hops were used in batch 1, Sorachi Ace is used in batch 2. 410 was the bottle date, 7.17 ABV. Now, this one is a hint under a double IPA, in my opinion. 7.5 and higher is what I call a double IPA. Okay, hiss, no smoke on this one. This one, so it's a little over 5 months old. My guess is we're really going to taste and smell that Sorachi Ace, I'm guessing. Now, I could be wrong, that's why we're making these, but that Sorachi Ace has a lot of dill smell and flavor that comes out of it. So if you're not a dill fan, this is probably one you would stay away from. Now, on this one, we have lots of bubbles and a good head. Why is this one a bigger head than batch 1? I don't know. Same carbonation tablets were used, same amount of carbonation tablets were used. So we do have an off-white, almost orange colored head. Small and medium bubbles on there, a little over a finger of head. This one is a little bit lighter in color, a little light burnt orange in color. Good. It almost, I want to say, because we're getting closer, we're in September, it looks kind of like a pumpkin beer, like a lighter pumpkin beer. Lots of carbonation coming up from that etch on the bottom of the glass. I don't see a lot of bubbles. I do see some, but yeah, good color. But that just goes to show you, I'm going to do a side-by-side of all these, all 7 batches once I'm done doing each one. And just that little less caramel, it's a little bit more than an ounce, has really brought that color down. So yeah, if you're looking for a lighter colored beer, definitely just cut down on the caramel. Now we'll have to smell and taste this batch versus batch 1 to see if you can pick up any light toffee, light caramel, something like that, because that one is using a little bit more caramel, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, this one is down in ABV a little bit. Now, is an ounce of caramel going to make, 1% difference in ABV? I'm guessing not. So let's go ahead and smell. Little dill. More, this one seems to have the aroma turned down. I do get a touch of dill, but there's a sweet, like bready malt there. I really don't pick up any like rye or spiciness. More towards, I almost want to say like an earthy citrus in the back. I'm sure as it warms up, that dill will come out a little bit more, but I am hunting for it. I do smell it. But yeah, that kind of a sweeter, toasted maltiness is what I get the most, followed by like a little earthy citrus in there. Let's go ahead and taste. Body's not as thick versus beer 1. It's a little smoother. I don't know if the carbonation level is a little lower But yeah, this one tastes a little smoother. Body's not as big. I do get the dill, but I also get some of that rye spiciness, like a lightly sweet toasted bread, rye bread in there. I do get the citrus. It seems like that citrus balances well with that dill. But you would see that like on salmon, we do citrus and dill. So it has that flavor profile if you mix citrus and dill together. I was actually thinking, because the batch one was thicker, and I was guessing that that sweet malty syrupness was coming through because it was aged. So this one was going to be the same way, but obviously thinner body. I think there are more flavors that are coming through. It's not as bitter. Beersmith 62.6 IBUs, so we're pretty much the same as batch one, but it doesn't seem like that bitterness has went up like it has in beer one, or the perceived bitterness has in beer one. Yeah, it's definitely weird to get that sweeter toasted rye bread spice. It's not like eating a piece of bread. It's very toned down to that, but you get all those flavors up front, and then that dill like kicks in, like a sweeter citrus dill kicks in. Then in the very back you get the bitterness. Excuse me. Aftertaste, I still get some of that dill citrus in there. There is a little toasted bread, not really a wheat that much. I guess there is some there as I'm talking, thinking about it. There is a little bit in the aftertaste, not as much as I thought there was gonna be. But yeah, that dill from the Sorachi Ace is a nice subtleness in the back to the aftertaste if you're into dill. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's funny how all the hops are the same except for one, and you're not getting that big perceived bitterness at at like 90 or 100 IBUs like you were in batch one. I think that's probably due to the lower ABV, probably, but this beer is thinner than beer number one, which is a higher ABV, so you would think that body would be thinner than a 7.17 beer. But it's not. Uh-oh, Jessica's home. But yeah, overall, good beer. More of a colder night beer. I don't see me drinking this in the day. I think though, I don't know, just those flavors are really powerful, and not something I would want to drink in the day. When it got cooler out is when I would want to drink this. So yeah, definitely good. If you haven't made a Rye IPA, this might be one that you want to make. If you enjoyed this video, check some more out over here. And until next time, happy brewing.